Below the zombies roared. In here Mom and I were tied up. We watched our so-called friends dig through all our food, looking disgusted. That all you got? Maybe enough for a month or two. With those two, maybe not even a month. Susan glanced at her big burly boyfriend. He got it. He just came at me with a knife. They're gonna kill me, Pumpkin. I forgot to tell you. We didn't have much food anyway. We killed off some food-wasting freaks in the building. That's how we lasted over a month. I woke up at dawn. The pain from the blade still seemed there, but when I opened my eyes, that heartless couple was gone. Then it hit me. I grabbed my phone right away. Sep 13, 15 days till the end. I couldn't believe it. I was reborn like crazy. I ran to Mom's room and hugged her tight. Woken up, she jumped and asked, Pumpkin, what's wrong? Did something happen? I hurried to calm her. Nothing, just had a nightmare. After the apocalypse, we lived pretty well. And that was all because of my mom, who'd had it rough for half her life. Back then, my dad gambled, ran up huge debt and beat her. After Mom divorced him with me and my little brother, the loan sharks kept hounding us, banging on the door at night, smearing red paint, every trick they had, forcing us to keep moving. Because of that, Mom was obsessed with safety, almost to a neurotic level. Our glass and security doors were all blast-proof grade. We even had pricey soundproofing in the house. Mom even liked stockpiling food at home. She only did it in case the loan sharks ever found us and trapped us there. But those prep helped our mother-daughter pair survive plenty in the zombie-eat-zombie world. If I hadn't lost my mind and let Susan in... What? You're grown and still scared of a dream. You're just too stressed from work. You need a break now and then. I nodded. Yeah, I should take some leave. And get ready for the end times. Back from Mom's room, I found paper and pen to list the supplies we'd need, and texted my brother first, telling him to call me when he woke up. But my brother Liu called back right away. Bro, you first. We spoke at almost the same time. I realized something. After a brief silence, we both said 5 words. Now the story got good. My brother had been reborn too, he said. Before he died, he couldn't make it home, so he hid in his apartment. But he's a shut-in. And the neighbors knew he had food. A few days into the apocalypse, the building manager and a few big guys burst in, stole his food, and threw him into a zombie pile. But after hearing what happened to me, he still couldn't help yelling over the phone. When the end comes, the first to die is the do-gooder. Remember, we can only save ourselves. I'd learned that the hard way. How could I not know that? Let's talk later. Hurry back. We'll stock up together. It's way safer at home. I'll be back tomorrow. I'm sending you money now. Buy the supplies, and remember, don't let anyone see. Or they'll fixate on you like they did on me. I agreed. Then I started planning how to smuggle in supplies. To keep the power stable, I put solar panels on the roof. Since the house runs on almost all electric appliances, I ordered right away a dozen big batteries, plus a treadmill generator, just in case. All I wanted was next day delivery, up to the 19th floor hall. I usually get off late, often after dark, so I could be sure only floors 2, 3, 4, 6, 12 in our building had people. Then I ordered toilet paper and heat packs, cooling patches, all these daily basics. I started at 400 units. Then water too. Big family, so I just got 700 buckets. As for food, I work in food myself, and I know food wholesale too. Self-heating hot pot, self-heating rice, instant noodles, canned meat, stuff that keeps long. I ordered online, 100 cases of each. The rest I went straight to the wholesale market. The main bulk was rice and flour. I started at 700 gin, then came city and farm veggies and fruit. Since some spoil, I only got up to 60 cases each of the hard-to-store ones. But pumpkin, winter melon, beans, radishes, stuff like that stores better. The more, the better. I also ordered huge batches of seasonings, fresh meat, sausage, and cured meat. Pick up tomorrow. For such a massive order, the Loban grinned as he took my money. Seeing I was new, he even hinted he could cut me a little deal, and we should look out for each other. So I smiled too and said, sure, one trip and money was flying out fast. Next was hauling it home bit by bit, without drawing attention. Luckily, my brother lived on the other side of town, so we got back fast. We had the truck drop it near the neighborhood. My brother and I rented a Wuling Hongguang, and hauled it all home together, trip after trip. Once home, I saw just how capable Li Ji was. The minute he got back, he bought seeds and soil, planning to grow veggies in the apocalypse, and told me he'd quietly wreck the cameras on the first floor, and in the elevator. I hadn't even thought of that. It was shady, sure, but really useful for our survival. Last time, the cameras broke, they dragged it out for a full month. This time broken, at least before the apocalypse. Don't count on them fixing it. I kept praising him. I promised to take him out for barbecue before the end. I pulled out my list and checked for gaps. The food stock was basically fine. I also added one-way privacy film for the windows, plus blackout curtains. My brother handled the self-defense gear. I only took care of the food. We split up so we could get everything ready as fast as possible. At night, our house still had no lights on. We just moved around with a dim little lamp turned low. First we locked up the room full of supplies, and did everything we could to fake that nobody was home. Mom couldn't get why I bought so much stuff. If I just said zombies the apocalypse, she'd never believe it. Besides, there wasn't even a hint of zombie news yet, but I could spin it another way. I made up a story. I'd pissed someone off at work, and they were dirty. I was scared of payback, so the company gave me time off. We had to buy stuff and lay low at home. Once Mom heard payback, she got nervous right away. What do we do? Who are they? Could you be in danger? I held Mom and comforted her. Just stay home and don't let anyone know we're stockpiling. Mom seemed to think of something, and her face got very serious. She said no one would ever know. Clear and bright out, and there were 13 days left till the apocalypse. Early that morning, Li Ji and I headed out. The guard at the gate didn't even bother looking at us. He lay on the desk and kept sleeping. My brother and I glanced at each other and split up. I first went to the appliance store and bought 2 big freezers, had them delivered home. The freezer at home was too small, not even close. Then we loaded up the meat I'd ordered yesterday. Fresh chicken, pork, lamb, beef. I bought nearly 100 gin of smoked meat. And I grabbed over 300 gin in one go. We've been moving too much lately. I was worried another truckload would draw attention. So I gave the boss a heads up. My fat jade slaughterhouse is in a remote spot. By the time I got home, the freezer was already in. I hurried up and stuffed all the meat and some fruit and veg inside. Busy all morning. The 2 freezers and fridge at home were packed solid, and we still had some left over. Couldn't fit it all. After a while, Leisure came back too. That kid really didn't let me down. He bought 20 knives of all sizes, privacy film, thick blackout curtains, and even 2 drones. Dozens of pinhole cams, 3 telescopes, on top of that. He brought back some wire too. I asked nervously if anyone saw it. By then a lot of people were off work for lunch, Li Ju said. He only ran into 2 or 3 people, but he acted like a renovation guy. Even stopped to ask them for directions. Shouldn't raise suspicion. That afternoon my household supplies arrived, so we dropped the outing plan for now. First we'd haul the supplies up from the 19th floor, bit by bit. I still wasn't at ease. No, there were the stairs and the elevator. With zombies anyone could get up here. I noted it down, buzzer blockers, chains, and big locks. Li Ji leaned in to take a look and said nothing. It was already 4 p.m. While everyone was at work or school, we got moving. Put up the privacy film, hang the curtains. Li Ji also took the pinhole cams and set them near the windows, so we could watch the area outside the complex. He went out once and set up cameras in the hallway from the 5th floor to our 24th too, solar-powered. Why put up so many? Besides, lots of people live below the 15th floor. Li Ju snorted. Of course I know. I know both units on the 15th have people too, but if there are people, we need cameras. That way, if anything happens over there, we'll know and can get ready. What he said gave me an idea too. Before dark, I quickly disguised myself and slipped out of the complex. After that, there'd be more shopping to do, but this time I went for little stuff. I came back with rugs, spring couplets, and all kinds of shoes. Li Ji didn't get it. I told him that in a couple days, we'd find a chance to put some in front of empty doors downstairs, to fake someone living there, and cover for us. Today we stocked the meat and got things set up. We went to bed early, rested up, and got ready for tomorrow. 12 days left till the end of the world. Since we already had enough staples stocked, and we still had time, Li Ji and I decided the rest of the food and snacks could be bought with a few more trips to big supermarkets. Also, my mom and I went through the supplies we'd bought, and sorted out the useless boxed packaging and trash taking up space. We hauled up the big bags of snacks, then timed it right and acted normal, carrying box after box downstairs, driving them off. While moving the boxes out, we ran into a few neighbors. Sure enough, by our actions, we made it look like our own place was moving out. That night, Mom stewed a huge pot of old hen soup for us. Halfway through, I suddenly remembered. No matter how much meat we had, it'd still run out. We'd need more. Best to raise some laying hens and ducks, I told Li Ji and Mom. Mom froze for a moment and asked, can we even raise chickens at home? Won't it stink? Li Ji thought it over. What about small pet chickens and ducks? My eyes lit up. I quickly searched pet ducks and chickens you can buy online. Quail chicks and call ducks are both pretty quiet. Good for raising then. When the end comes, we can still eat fresh eggs. With 11 days left, we went to a pet farm. We bought a dozen quail chicks, plus a lot of feed. We set up space for them at home, and time kept closing in. I started getting nervous, checked our supplies again, and ordered more online. I bought lots of boxes of snacks and daily stuff. With the weather change coming, fearing we might not be able to use AC later, I also bought some down jackets, fleece blankets, capes, and warm sleeping bags too. I checked what money we had left. Still enough, so I bought quiet fans too. Then electric blankets and rechargeable hot water bags. When Li Ji saw my shopping list, he rushed with me to the wholesale market. We bought all kinds of clothes for all 3 of us. Hundreds of pieces, from underwear to outerwear. It was still hot now, but once it got cold with no heat and no AC, we had no idea what we'd do. While we were planning, I suddenly remembered something awful. I'd totally forgotten to buy medicine. I was about to tell Li Ji right away when Mom suddenly grabbed my hand. She asked what was really going on. Why were we buying so much? The excuses I'd been making just didn't hold up anymore. Not after seeing us stockpile this much. We had to tell her, so my brother and I told Mom everything. When she heard what happened before we were reborn, she cried nonstop. She might not know what a zombie is, but both of us were killed in the end times. That was enough to make her cry her eyes out. We hugged her and comforted her. With all this prep, this time, we're sure to make it through the end times alive. There were only 10 days left, so we bought as much medicine as we could. On top of that, we kept hitting up supermarkets and stocked up on even more food and water. Over the next few days, we still didn't stop. But we were careful to avoid nearby neighbors. The stuff we'd ordered online was quickly hauled home too. Besides food, there was also some electronics. Plus USB drives and portable hard drives. We downloaded tons of top-rated shows, movies, and variety shows, so we wouldn't get bored cooped up at home. With just 3 days left, home was already getting way too cramped. During that time, I also tried posting anonymously, making up stories about being trapped at home because of quarantine, hinting that people should stock up on supplies. How many people we helped, though, we had no idea. That day, we finally stopped stocking up and went out as a family for a huge hot pot meal. That night, we also packed up a big order of barbecue, fried chicken and Coke to take home. On the way back, we kept avoiding people, and Mom even laughed and said, it felt like we were spies. Back home, I checked my phone messages again. I found a post saying someone had bitten people, but the post just blamed it on rabies, and that was the end of it. I could already smell danger. For the last 2 days, we weren't planning to go out. The little things I bought finally came in handy. We set up disguises on the 17th floor, the 19th floor, and the 22nd floor, plus by the door across from ours. Some places had Spring Festival couplets, others had shoes and rugs at the door. We tore down our own couplets and sprinkled fine dust on the door and entrance, making our place look abandoned. Also, to seal off the safety stairwell, we locked it from the 16th floor all the way to the top. Every floor had chains and several big padlocks on the doors. We even sealed off the rooftop and put at least 2 doorstops on every door. Lee Ji somehow pulled out a bunch of copper bells and tied them all to chains. Wind couldn't move them, only if someone tried to tear them down would they jingle like crazy. If anyone forced their way in, then they'd better save their own life first. At first, Lee Ji wanted to lock things from the first floor, but he thought about the neighbors below, who might not have food. If he didn't lock it, they might still go down to find some. My last bit of kindness stopped me from doing that, but I still put some chains and padlocks and spare keys behind each floor's safety door. If they found them and needed them, they could just use those to lock it up. But that left us with quite a few chains and locks, plus the extra spares we'd already bought, and some door wedges. Lee Ji thought it over, then early next morning he took a bag and went out with all that stuff. I was pretty nervous, because tomorrow, the zombie outbreak. After all, it was gonna spread like a virus. I was kinda scared they might spread early. Luckily, my brother came back safe. He said he bought more locks, then disguised himself. He slipped into a few other buildings and locked some doors. Then he did the rest the same way and left them behind the doors. On one hand, it could raise the survival rate in the complex. On the other, it could also keep people from noticing. But I didn't leave any at the building across the way, where the guy who killed my brother lived. One bastard down, and we're a little safer. Mom nodded in agreement too. Don't worry, we prepared for so long. And later tonight, we'll shut off the elevator. This time no one's gonna find us. Our whole family just huddled together and waited quietly for tomorrow's nightmare to come. Early the next morning, Mom made us shrimp congee, nutritious and tasty. After breakfast, I turned on the TV and saw that around 7 in the morning, some coastal areas and a few scattered cities were already reporting rabies cases. It was supposed to be a normal day. A young pregnant woman was walking arm in arm with her boyfriend out shopping. As they went, a slow young guy up ahead suddenly stopped. The pregnant woman was just wondering why, when all at once that young guy shot forward like an arrow. He pinned down a passerby nearby and lunged in to bite him. People around screamed. Some backed away. Some even pulled out phones to film and dared to step closer, only to get tackled by the young guy again, before the others could even run. The passerby who'd been bitten first also oddly got back up and lunged at someone else. Had begun. Then all of a sudden there was a huge crash. Mom and I both went to the window and lifted a corner of the curtain to look. Lee Ji checked the security cams on his tablet. Outside the complex, a sports car had slammed into the statue at the gate. Behind the car there was a dark crowd, running fast this way, but through the binoculars I could see clearly. They were zombies. The people in the car were probably trying to flee, but something went wrong. The guard wanted to go check, but just as he got close, a zombie jumped him from behind and bit him. Blood sprayed everywhere. The screams wouldn't stop, and someone in the owner's chat soon uploaded the video. I could also hear someone in the complex, somewhere, roaring in rage. What the hell is that? We left the window and went over to Lee Ji and watched the cameras with him. At that point, there were still some people moving around in the complex. Those zombies saw living people and rushed in madly. Some were faster. Even if their homes were close, some still couldn't get away. A girl in high heels died just because she wasn't fast enough. And not long after she was bitten, she staggered back up to one of them now. Soon after, the open lot outside the complex had no living people left. It was dead quiet inside. The mom looked at the bloody scene outside and kept saying, "Good thing you believed me. Otherwise, with this chaos outside, going out would have meant death." That night no one had much appetite, so I just made a simple meal. After dinner, I told Mom some things about zombies, like their hearing is super sharp, way sharper than in any show we'd seen. They're very sensitive to blood. Hitting the head is the best and only real way to deal with zombies for good. Other than that, what I stressed most was, don't play Saint. We can only save ourselves, not anyone else. I slept badly that night, even though we were high up the silent night. Made the painful screams and cries for help feel clear, even louder. 2 days passed before we finally shook off that low mood. Last night, a huge storm hit. The temperature dropped even more, down by a sudden 10 degrees. Right now it's 18 degrees Celsius indoors. Outside is definitely even colder. My little brother turned on the TV. Besides the chicken news channel, everything else was just snow. To keep things from feeling so tense, I pulled out the hard drive I'd prepared before, and played Mom a show she'd never finished. The Doomsday Survival Guide. Right after I got it playing, I checked my phone. By then, the owner's group had already blown up to 99 plus. Almost everyone was panicking and crying out, "What do we do? What do we do? Has anyone called the cops?" Yeah. But can the police even get here? Zombies are banging on our unit door. Don't make noise. 1 or 2 can't break it down. Don't let more zombies hear us. We don't have food at home. Who? Anyone without food, I'll pay. We have kids at home. We'll pay for food. How much do you want? I'll pay more. It was all kinds of people trying to buy food, but everyone knew the game. In this kind of situation, who'd be willing to hand food over? In times like this, food was the only hard currency. Money was worthless paper. But soon after, property staff showed up. The owners started asking neighbors how much food they had left. Some even naively said what they had on hand. Our family has no birth. After all, I wasn't living there anymore. On the second day of the apocalypse, drones flew over the complex telling everyone to stay home and hang on. That morning, when my brother was on duty, he saw across the way, in the building next door, a mysterious person run out, wrapped up from head to toe. Moving carefully, at around the 13th floor, a window was opened, and a woman's head poked out. She was holding a drone. There was a speaker on the drone's tail. Seeing the stranger head down, she quickly launched the drone and flew it the other way. Suddenly, the drone started making noise, loud enough to draw all the zombies away at once. The stranger who'd run out quickly got in the car. It was an SUV. I remember him well. He was one of the first to go out for supplies. And make it back safe with a lot of stuff too. Sure enough, about an hour and a half later, he drove back. That woman kept watching the complex gate. When she saw their car, she quickly flew the drone the other way again. This mysterious guy had scored big. The trunk and back seat were packed tight, with hardly any room. Except for people. Just like in my past life. After he sent the stuff up, he headed back out. I knew they were going for solar panels. They'd be back with 2 cars, soon once the residents ran out of supplies. And everyone had to head out for more. The zombie count would rise. And finding supplies would get harder too. Around 2 p.m., the mystery man came back with 2 cars. The zombies nearby had already been lured away by the woman, so he hurried to haul it upstairs. That truck was full of water, rice, solar panels, and all kinds of canned food. I even spotted seeds and dirt. The woman pulled the drone back and shut the window. The mystery man sent out one signal, and that was, "Get out and grab supplies now, while there aren't so many zombies yet, while there's still supplies left outside." My mom quit watching TV too and came over to stare at that home. Seeing him get home safe, she let out a breath. They're brave, all right. What's even braver is, tonight, that mystery man would go out again. If I remember right, they probably cleared out the whole supermarket. Around 11 p.m. it was my shift. I saw the mystery man from earlier head out again. The woman flew the drone farther out. Honestly, I had no idea what it looked like outside now, but just from that mystery man's 2 safe returns, he had to be pretty tough. Sure enough, this time they hauled back a whole truckload, and didn't finish till almost 5 a.m. I figured that family might be able to hold out till the end too. Over the next few days, more people in the complex started copying the mystery man, and heading out for supplies. Some succeeded, others weren't so lucky. A married couple's vehicle couldn't get into the complex. While hauling supplies at the gate, they were attacked by zombies that rushed out. Both of them turned into zombies. It had been 15 days since the outbreak. On day 10, the internet went down. People could no longer get info online. On day 12, the power grid was wrecked by zombies. Night became pitch black. On day 14, water was cut off too. On day 15, the roar of a helicopter came for the first time. That sound gave waterless, powerless people a sliver of hope, but the helicopter only circled the complex twice, then quickly left. That night, the once quiet complex suddenly erupted in noise. Mom and I were watching TV. We heard it and said, "What's that?" "No idea." "Let's check it out." A woman was crying in the complex. Crying, then complaining, then depressed, then laughing like crazy. Then yelling. Just as I expected, other residents shouted at her too. But instead of stopping, she laughed even crazier. "You'll die." "I'll die too." "We'll all die, haha." More and more zombies were drawn in by the noise. Outside the complex, heads packed in tight. Some zombies looked restless, their bodies mindlessly slamming into the gate. No good, they've smashed the gate again. Finally, when one resident shouted in frustration, "You want to die or what?" The woman jumped from the high-rise, and the laughter cut off at once. After a loud thud, the complex fell silent. Tears filled Mom's eyes. They were near their limit. I felt awful too. No water, no power. No food. My body and mind couldn't take that night. I slept fitfully, and kept dreaming of a faceless woman. She was crying. The next day I woke to a strange sound. Then I jerked up in bed. Guns. It was gunfire. I stumbled to the window and saw 5 military trucks at the gate. After a burst of gunfire, a lot of zombies fell. A man shouted through a loudspeaker. They said they were soldiers, and the government had set up a safe zone. They were here to take survivors there. A safe zone? You think that's safe? I shook my head. This place is safest since the outbreak. There's been plenty of looting and killing. For some reason, I just felt these guys were off. But their arrival was a huge boost for people trapped in despair. Soon people came down with bags and bundles. Even some white-haired old folk shuffling along. I was worried sick. Luckily nothing happened. 2 of the military trucks were cargo trucks. The soldiers got the survivors onto them, waited a bit, then left. Before they went, they said the safe zone was in the east. Anyone who wanted in should head east on their own. That's mountains. I frowned. The east side is flat land in the mountains. Easy to hide in, easy to defend. It really is a good place for a safe zone. More importantly, our neighborhood isn't far from the east side. A half-hour drive. The zombies around our place have been mostly cleared out. Over the next few days. Sure enough, some people left with their whole families. From the way they headed, they were all going to the safe zone. Our family wasn't leaving. The safe zone might not have more supplies than we did. Very few people were left in the complex. It was dead quiet all day. The outbreak had dragged on for over 2 months, and Mom and I decided to make hot pot. We sliced up beef and lamb, while my brother dug into the freezer corner and pulled out a bag of meatballs. One small problem, the fresh veg still hadn't sprouted. So we had to use dried vegetables. After stuffing ourselves, my brother went to the window. He let out a little, "Huh? What's wrong?" He pointed below the window. "He's still there. No, wait. He's back out again." "What?" I went to the window and saw the mystery guy was already by the gate. He was about to push it open when a zombie suddenly burst out of the guard booth. Caught off guard, the man raised his hammer to block. The zombie bit his right arm, and the pointed hammer fell to the ground. My brother and I groaned in unison. Li Ju sighed. "What a waste of talent." "Don't curse him yet. Look closer," I nudged him. My brother took a hard look. Turns out the man's arm had a thick magazine taped to it. The zombie couldn't get through to his flesh. The man kept wrestling with it, while trying to grab the pointed hammer with his left hand. He tried several times but couldn't do it. His bitten right arm started shaking. Clearly he was running out of strength. My brother ran to the room but I stopped him. "What are you doing? The complex is pretty empty anyway. Let's help once." I quickly grabbed a crossbow from the room and yanked the window open. I aimed at the zombie and fired, then slammed the window shut again. Whoosh. Right in the zombie's forehead. In that instant, the mystery man grabbed the spike hammer with his left hand and cracked him open. Maybe it was just me, but before he left, he seemed to glance our way. My brother was on the floor, gasping. He looked scared and hyped. "Nice job," I crouched down. "Don't do it next time." Li Ji couldn't help laughing. "Got it. Next day." Mom came to the terrace to collect the quail eggs. Less than a minute later, he rushed into the room, his face full of panic. "There's something on the terrace." Alarm bells went off in my head. "What is it?" Mom stammered. "It looks like... It's a drone." The second I heard that, I knew it was serious. I grabbed a bone cleaver and headed up. Sure enough, there was a drone in the middle of the terrace. I asked Li Ji, "Did you hear anything yesterday?" I was asleep. "Didn't hear a thing, me neither. Damn, so many weird things." I scanned the area again, seeing nothing weird. I finally lifted the drone off the floor. We bought a few of these too, but we'd never used them. Hanging under it was a package. We opened it and found a walkie-talkie and a note. "Hello. Thanks for helping us out. I'm the guy who went out for supplies yesterday. You're in danger now. In your unit there's a guy who's been hanging around your door for a week. Please contact us on the walkie-talkie. We'll prove it to you." My brother and I exchanged a look. Someone had their eye on us. But how? I knew what he meant. The shelter's walls and ceiling were lined with soundproof panels. The windows had privacy film. And our family only stayed in the room. We never went out. We'd never even posted in the owner's chat. So what now? Call them? I nodded. "Hello, can you tell me exactly what this person is like?" The reply came fast. Through the crackle of static, a voice said, "Hello? I found that guy a week ago. He lives in the building next to yours. For the past week. He's often climbed to your floor and just stared at the door. Once he brought a tool, a power drill, and fiddled around up there for a long time. Somehow, Yuzu, we recently found... He tied a rope to the roof of his building, and the other end to his waist. He started practicing climbs. He probably plans to get in through your balcony or window. After hearing that voice message, I forced down my mixed feelings and thanked him. No need, you helped us yesterday, or even now. Oh, and... remember to put the drone back on the terrace. I need to take it back after dark. Got it, thanks. We grabbed a few quail eggs and 5 packs of instant noodles, packed them up, and strapped them under the drone, then set it back on the balcony. After dark, the drone really did wobble its way back. That night, my brother and I took turns on watch. Then suddenly, the mystery man's voice came over the walkie-talkie. He's climbing up, stay alert! My brother and I exchanged a look. We grabbed our weapons and went to the balcony. After a full half hour, a figure climbed onto the terrace. My brother and I shone our flashlights right in his face. It was the guy who hurt me in my past life. He barely opened his eyes. And when he saw the weapon in my brother's hand, he looked desperate. Please have mercy on me. I haven't eaten in 2 days. I waved the flashlight. How'd you know someone was home? And how'd you know we had supplies? The man cursed. When you were moving stuff. I've seen it. Please, please. I grabbed a cleaver. My brother grabbed my sleeve. What are you doing? When he came up just now, he wasn't asking us for food. For a killer like that, I sniffed the blade. You go down yourself, or I'll send you down. Your call. Seeing I meant it, he suddenly looked fierce. He climbed down from the terrace in silence. Then came a huge crash inside. Then a scream. We ran back inside fast. He failed to break in through the balcony, so he tried smashing the glass. But the blast film bounced it back. He lost his grip and fell. The safety rope at his waist slammed his body hard into the building. Seeing him hanging there, I felt a chill. I raised the cleaver, opened the window, and cut the rope. It snapped. He fell too. Guess that paid back my old grudge. Then the weather got colder, and the zombies changed in scary ways. Some others got even more frantic. I had no idea what it meant. Only a bad feeling. The good news was the veggies we'd planted finally ripened and could be harvested for days on end. Nothing new happened until that day when we heard that familiar hum again. That convoy was back, my brother yelled frantically. Come here. You gotta see this. I leaned to the window and got why he was so hyped. That place looked empty, but it still hid this many survivors. They were led to the military truck by those guys. Weird. Why weren't they letting them on? I was puzzled too, watching below. Before I could finish, the man on the far left suddenly struck and kicked a survivor to the ground. He pinned the back of his head. The survivors panicked at once, trying to scatter in all directions, and in the chaos someone fired. A young man dropped dead. Nobody move. Bullets don't care who they hit, the guy barked. A survivor beside him asked timidly, aren't you rescue? Where are you taking us? He got only a cold. The 2 men went straight to sleep. I was dumbfounded. My brother was stunned. Weren't they here to rescue us? And the ones who went with them first? The bandits had the place under control. They opened the survivors' bags and started ransacking bread and crackers at will. Fuck, it's all moldy. What a waste. One man just went to sleep. Looks like all these people be... I couldn't bear to answer. I just shook my head then. A middle-aged man in the survivors suddenly dropped to his knees and begged, don't kill me. Don't kill me. There are more people here. They've got supplies, a lot of them. I froze. My heart started pounding. I was about to speak when that so-called boss stepped up, grabbed his collar, and lifted that middle-aged man off the ground. What did you say? Say it again, bitch. Someone's got supplies? Lots of supplies? Don't play me. Which house? Say it. If you can't, I'll... You guys are... Yeah, he shakily raised his finger. It was that house. And it wasn't our way. Me and my brother just breathed easy. Then our hearts shot back up. He was pointing right at where the mysterious guy was. Damn. Now that I think on it, him getting exposed was no surprise. We'd stayed home all this time, but he was out there in plain sight, bringing back tons of supplies. In this messed up end times, it'd be weird not to get targeted. The middle-aged man was kicked flat. Then the guy laughed. Hear that, brothers? There's a fat target upstairs. He just points at you. And you too. Grab your gear, move out. 3 stayed to guard the survivors. The other 3 grabbed breaching tools and rushed into the hall where the mystery guy was. Faint banging came from across the way. Someone yelled, rough as hell. Open up! If you don't, we'll tear it down. After a bit came the sound of forced entry. My brother sighed helplessly. The walkie was on the chair, and I couldn't help looking. It was dead quiet. No message had come through at all. My brother kept sighing. Maybe they're cold by now, so tell me. Should we haul their bodies out under the cover of night? Then someone suddenly came down from upstairs. He struggled to load several sacks of rice and flour onto the truck. That's it. They're already dead. It took 3 guys 15 minutes to move it all. Still, I noticed something was off. There was way less than what the mysterious guy had brought back. The leader walked up to the middle-aged snitch. Not bad, bro. You even know who still has supplies? The man kept shaking his head. I'll give you all my supplies. Please, don't kill me. The guy laughed. I'm always fair. Bang. The middle-aged man dropped dead. He was so thankful to the man. Eyes full of joy and delight. So go meet God Knight. They skewered the last survivor's flesh and grilled it. Me and my brother hid in a corner, grabbed the walkie. Hey! You guys still alive? They were dead. I let out a long sigh, felt heavy too, then the walkie crackled. Who died? It was the mystery guy's voice. My brother lit up. You guys aren't dead? Then where are you? We're on the roof. After the mystery guy explained it all, I finally got what happened. He and his sister each had a place in this unit. They knew full well that moving supplies in plain sight would make them easy targets. So they only moved it to his 12th floor place. At night, they'd quietly move it again to his sister's on the 19th floor, and leave. Just a little on 12 to fool people. Nice move, I said. But in the end times, you gotta watch people. We planned it from the start. They set up camp here. I figured they'd start looting the other floors, sooner or later. Got any ideas? If they see all the locked doors on the floors, they'll probably guess someone up high is here. Li Zi went pale. Never thought our own precautions would become a sign that exposed us. The mystery guy looked grim too. You notice anything weird with the zombies? Some of them move way faster. No joke, even with a gun you might not beat him. It hit me. You mean lure the zombies over? Let the zombies take them out. Right. Better to fight than sit here and die, now. Those guys outside are full and resting. We talked the plan through, then moved. I sat with my brother and cut ourselves, smeared blood on a few pieces of pork. Right after, Mom rushed over and bandaged us up, then hung the bloody meat on the drone. My brother volunteered to fly it and draw the zombies. I dug out that weird dusty perfume I bought ages ago and never used to cover the blood smell. We launched the drone from the back, away from them. Li Zi flew low and left the complex. Our complex backs onto the industrial zone with tons of workers. He was gonna draw the zombies there. Once the drone left the complex, we saw another drone flying out too. Both sides were a bit, but we both pretended not to see it. Under their drone hung a blood-soaked pad. Clearly they were after the same thing. Sure enough, the closer to downtown, the more zombies there were. Our drone made one lap, and a bunch of zombies instantly trailed it. The 2 drones drew 2 separate waves of zombies. A black mass of them came toward our complex. I hurried Li Zi to bring the drone back, but not straight home. He left it on a windowsill in the building across the way. Then we took out all the towels and stuffed them in. We had to block every crack under the door, so no smell could get through. By then, the convoy downstairs had spotted the zombies. They reacted fast, raised their guns, and sprayed the horde. Outside, gunfire was deafening, with zombies roaring too. But they were facing over 10 times that many. They could hold them off for a bit, but they had no real shot at winning. We huddled together, silently praying that our family could get through this alive. But in under 10 minutes, the zombie horde kept surging forward and crushed their line. Those people were end times desperados. There was no way they'd work together to fight these monsters. You could say, the moment zombies got close, they were already dead. Their modified cars had steel plating, and a lot of them just hid in them on the spot. Others didn't have time to grab their guns, so they fell back while fighting, and retreated into the stairwell. Our building was on the edge of the complex. Chased by zombies storming in through the front gate, one group kept fighting as they fell back, and somehow retreated to our building. One of them even just shot our lobby door open. When they burst into our building, Mom panicked. What do we do? What if they find us? They'll bring the zombies up here, Mom. It's fine. Our stairwell's locked, and they can't outrun the zombies anyway. We're on the 20th plus floor. Once they're worn out halfway up, the zombies will get them. Li Zi softly comforted her. I'm not taking that bet to the kitchen. Get the food scraps and air freshener stuff out and set it up. If zombies really get up here, we have to hide our smell any way we can. Li Zi said nothing and took out a knife. Brother, if zombies come up, I'll go lure them away. Kill you and hide, Mom. Tears started falling at once. Silly boy, if anyone goes, it's me. No, none of us are going. Back then, our family had to be okay. We huddled together, crying in silence. Zombie roars, gunshots, and footsteps echoed down the hall. The jingle of copper bells told us the locked safety gates below were being broken open one by one. Angry shouts and screams stood out in all that noise. They were already close. My hand shook as I wrote 23 on the floor with my finger. That sound was already down below. I forced myself to calm down. Looking at my mom and little brother, I prayed for the first time in my life that gods and Buddha were real and would let our family live, at last. The hall gate got slammed once, then a gunshot, but the door held. They only shot off one umbrella. 2 were still hanging there. Then I heard 2 angry curses and fists pounding the door. Guess they were out of ammo. One of them was raging, threatening us. People upstairs, open up, or I'm coming in and I'll kill you all. But they were out of time. The door got slammed hard, then it shook violently. Amid screams and curses came the crisp jingle of copper bells. Blood seeped in from outside, staining a big patch red. Our whole family threw trash and air freshener at the door, as hard as we could. We all covered our mouths, not daring to make a sound. Luckily, the ones chasing in were only normal zombies. Still, we didn't dare make a sound. We didn't even dare breathe hard. Then we heard a huge blast outside. A modified car had been flipped by zombies about to blow. The zombies in the hall heard it too, and staggered over. The most dangerous bandits outside were gone too, in all 3 of our eyes. Tears welled up as we looked at each other, but it still wasn't time to relax. Down below there was still an intelligent zombie roaming the open area outside the complex. I lifted a corner of the curtain and watched carefully. I saw that Kun zombie staring straight at my drone parked on another building, when my heart jumped. Lizzie handed me a note. It'll be okay. I nodded in silence. It'll be okay. The zombies had been wandering below for 3 days. Since the big chaos before. 3 days had passed. Our drone on the other building got buried under layers of zombies and smashed apart. Luckily that zombie was only somewhat smart. Not human smart. It roamed below for days but couldn't smell any living people. Then, with the smart zombie leading the way, those zombies left the complex in 1s and 2s, out of hundreds. Only a dozen or 20 were left. Our family stayed careful, never easing up. Only 2 days after most of the zombies left, we hugged and cried. This crisis! We survived it. Half a year after the last crisis, the roar of helicopters came over our complex again. Then the choppers dropped a lot of supplies. Seeing the noise draw in more and more zombies, the aircraft had to pull out. If any survivors are still alive, stay safe. Please keep fighting to live. The helicopter flew off. That roar pulled away a big wave of zombies too. Only 3 or 4 were left in the complex. After that, we never faced another crisis. At last the radio brought good news. The nearest military base had gathered troops, ready to wipe out the zombies. The radio kept reporting the cleanup progress, and we saw a lot of hope. At first it was fine, but as time passed it got warmer. The broadcast added one more thing, a wet weather alert. As it warmed up, the zombies started moving north, and we had to listen more often than before, so we wouldn't miss anything important. The zombie wave coming also meant the cleanup had to stop for now. The broadcast had already said the base was on alert, and we got tense too. It was already April. Those stop-and-go zombie waves had lasted nearly 2 months. During that time, the nearest safe base to us came under zombie attacks many times. A few times they even sent out SOS calls, but luckily, the base held out, though it was badly damaged. The broadcast said they'd rebuild the base first and handle the rear area, then keep clearing zombies and rescue people. I did the math. It had been 9 months since the end of the world. The fighting pushed from the city edge toward downtown. At first, armed soldiers would pass by here, and they'd split off squads to clear the zombies in our complex. The loudspeaker told survivors to keep hiding and don't let your guard down. During the sweep, zombies could come back anytime. After the warning, those soldiers left fast. But this time, we really saw hope. Before we knew it, it was getting cold again. But what came over the radio was what I'd longed for day and night, dreamed of 1,000 times. The vaccine was a success. This human nightmare was almost over. The radio kept replaying that news. Mom, my brother, and I looked at each other, and I don't know who cried first. Then I don't know who covered their mouth and laughed in silence. We were crying and laughing. Mom seemed ready to let out all the fear and hurt she'd held in for over a year. She didn't dare make a sound, but her eyes swelled up from crying. Same with me. My eyes were swollen, but my smile hurt. After that broadcast, not long later, helicopters came one after another. They sprayed medicine from above for 3 straight days, and the whole city was covered in strong Persian medicine. I quietly watched the zombies. At first they moved more and more slowly, then later, some would walk a few steps, then fall and never get back up. As time went on, they even started rotting. This time, it was really ending.